Welcome to the curriculum preview for 4th grade ELAR, SLAR. Let's take a look at what our objectives are for this 6 weeks. By the end of the 6 weeks, we would like for students to be on a level text R. So I'm looking at the expectations. You're going to find this on your unit overview on page 10. I won't read them to you so you can see them in a number of minutes and the reading responses, but let's go on to talk about what does a level R look like. In your continuum, as reading teachers, we need to know where we headed. So in a level R, here are the descriptors from the continuum that shows you what a level R text looks like and what is the text structure and the different things that are in a level R. And then here's the characteristics of an independent reader at level R. Looking at this, these are the things that we must secure for a student to become proficient at level R and moving them up that spectrum. So I thought that would help you as reading teachers to see that, but your continuum has that valuable piece. The other demonstrations of reading mastery, we want to write brief summaries that paraphrase and connect the main ideas in a text to the central message without retelling the text, and to read independently with comprehension and fluency. So let's begin with our word study. I hope that you have your planning guide along beside you with your unit overview. So let's take a look at the English word study. During that time, what's spelling look like? We're going to review final stable syllable consonant LE. And I love this part of the word study because it has all the different syllable types in the review that's really important for our students to understand how the English language works. Week 15 and 16 is adding consonant and vowel suffixes to closed syllables, and you have all of your things that you're going to put in your writing notebook to help the kids and have their anchor charts and using those to find those words. Week 17 and 18 is the AR and the OR words, and how I would suggest doing this too is putting it in your writing handbook, but also maybe making one of an interactive word wall with words that you are studying that week and having kids as they find words, then having them interact and make a word wall and with just those specific words for that specific time period. So that is your English word study. What about grammar? The grammar alert that's in the English for English word study is amazing. You're going to be having prepositions and prepositional phrases, adverbs that indicate frequency or intensity, deeply or strongly, and within your grammar alert, you're going to find activities that are going to help you to really teach those to the level that we need those taught. Your academic vocabulary is, remember that we have it in English and Spanish now. If you want that separate document, it resides in the yearly content, and you can get those there. But remember to teach these in context, teaching our kids to understand and know what these words mean. Let's look at our focus lessons for this 6 weeks. Let's take a look at page 6. It starts on page 6 and explaining what are the focus lessons that we need to do. Your Figure 19E, summarizing information in a text, maintain meaning and logical order, is your lead standard. And with that, we have noticed that as you look at the data, that our kids really don't understand summarization. So I'm going to ask you to really go back in and look at the comprehension toolkit when you're designing your focus lessons this 6 weeks. Let's go back and let's do the determine importance. If you've already taught that, then maybe rinse and repeat so that we know that our kids really have an understanding of how to find the main ideas within a text. So determining the lessons there in the comprehension toolkit in the determining importance 19 through 22, going through the whole things and remembering that there is you have a guide lesson that will help you after you've done the model lesson. The guide lesson then allows you to take any text and then teach that. But the last lesson, which should be 22, read, write, and reflects, teaching kids how to really put down in what you've done. Some different things in treasures for summarization in Unit 5, A Walk in the Desert, Animals Come Home to the National Parks, are some things as well. Then go into the comprehension toolkit that's on summarization once you have that background, lessons 22 through 26, doing those lessons with the kids, and then creating an anchor chart about what it is that they feel like summarizing and synthesizing is to them. But those lessons are really important to doing those with our kids. Now let's pick up where our overview on page 6 talks about plot summary think sheet. This is such a good resource to use when teaching kids to look at what identify sub-skills they need to develop in order to be successful at summarization. So you can see on page 6 of your overview is it just walks you kind of through all of that. In Treasure 1, because of Winn-Dixie, would be a great one to do with this. Also, you could do this with a with any STAR passage where you're looking at let's figure out what the summary is and then go in and then look at the question, the multiple choice question, and see which one fits better. Teaching kids to really think through summary. We want to do close reading at all times. You want to make sure that you are using the close reading tips, using poetry to do that, and drama maybe. In Treasures Unit 3, there's Renata and the Frog Prince is a great one. And just like I said, after you teach all that, you need to go into the release test, because I only use 2013, and pull out the summary questions and look at the passages and do these type of activities with them and saying, hey, let's analyze why the answer choice is not correct. So teaching them how to do those ones that we struggle with. So that's a great lesson to have with them. In your guided reading, we're moving into really, you've got your kids in groups and you're moving on. Please remember to use the Jan Richardson, the Transitional Guided, or the Fluent Reading Guide. This link right here gives you the links to those lessons, those lesson templates. And I know not all the time do you have time to read with your kids day 3, but make sure that you really include the guided reading piece in with that. So hopefully those lessons will help you and those templates will help you in that. And make sure that you're using your leveled library as well as your reading A to Z, and making sure that all the kids are on RAS Kids and really looking at the information there. That's a great workstation for all the kids. So let's take a look at the writing expectations for this 6 weeks. We want really kids at a stage 9 and strong at 10. We really need to move them, and we're really looking at, if you come to writing support, you can look at your overview and you see that there's lots of demands, that lots of things that we have in there for you to teach. But as we were looking at where kids are, we really want you just to focus on developing the paragraph. Let's take a look at all of our standards. We have personal expository writing and procedural text. Those are our main, your lead standards. We want students to, in the planning process, interpret the demands of a prompt in order to plan for a specific purpose and audience. We want them to use transitions to connect ideas within and between paragraphs. We want them to improve coherence within and between paragraphs, and then we want them proofreading for accuracy of K-3 spelling sight words. What we've talked about in writing support is that to really stop and focus on the development of the paragraph and to use just the structures of the power paragraph and do that. So looking at freeze time, use different types of paragraphs, and Norma is going to give us some for us to use, and I will be sending those out to you as you and so you can see them. But if you don't know how to use them correctly, contact your academic coach or myself and we'll come out. But we want you just looking at one specific, like showing the structure of a paragraph and developing that paragraph, those power paragraphs, and just rinsing and repeating this till every student in the class has that different types of structures for them to do a paragraph with. So you would use the prompt sort activity, that's understanding the writing task, and just spin each day and say, okay, now we're going to write about this. But the development of the paragraph is where we feel like our kids need to be, and we have enough time for you to do that, and just focusing in on learning those strategies of the power paragraph. We do have grammar lessons or adverbs. You have your adverb clause, and using that routine to teach the adverb clauses, and then practicing prepositions and prepositional phrases and stuff. I would just say that as you do your power paragraphs, that you can teach these type of lessons within that as well, and just teaching them those parts of grammar that are so important. Making sure that we use your stop peri, you stick to the topic. Here is interpret the demands of a prompt, so spinning with that prompt sort, giving them one thing to write about, and then just staying within one paragraph over and over until they can get to stage 9 or higher within a paragraph. So looking at those and using those power paragraphs and the structures of those. And if you really have a question about that and you didn't get to come to writing support, contact us and let us come out, and I'll work with your academic coaches to show you what I'm talking about. Really important is how you, when after was they're writing, how you're walking around and you're monitoring what they're doing. If they're just really developing that one paragraph, you can walk around quickly looking at, are they getting that structure of that power paragraph? Are you seeing that? And then you're really honing in on the skills and of the development of a paragraph. So I hope that helps you with that. So make sure that you reflect and have them look at, we want to be at this particular stage, we want to be to stage 9. What on the rubric does that look like? Showing them, what does a stage 9 and a stage 10 writing look like? What does a paragraph that's a stage 9 or 10 look like? So you give them a goal to go with. So we still have time. So power paragraphs, and if you're not aware of what that is, please let us know and we'll come out and we'll show you what we're talking about, because there's power in the power paragraph. So I want to thank you for watching the previews. The last time I appreciated how you did the discussions and you gave feedback, and you actually posted on others and commented. It was just a great collaboration. I want to thank you for that. We want to invite you to come to our C3 time with the coordinators. That's Curriculum Collaborate and Create. It's a time that you can come and just visit with us and talk about your concerns or talking about something that you really have a question about. We'll be sending out those times. So just want to thank you. Please let us know how we can help you, especially writing teachers. Please come to writing support, and if you need that help, call us and email me, and we'll come out and we'll help you, show you how to do the power paragraphs.